The second question is about bid'ah, the concept of bid'ah. Yes, the concept of bid'ah is linked with the concept of ibadah in Islam. The concept of ibadah in Islam, you have two conditions for the acceptance of ibadah or the validity of ibadah, any ibadah. The first one is that it has to be sincere for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Second one is it has to be according to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala legalized, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants. Either directly in the Holy Quran or through the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and understanding. Anything that is lacking on either one of these conditions is not valid ibadah in Islam. So the first one, that will be insincere, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not accept it. The second one, that will be bid'ah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept it as well. The concept of bid'ah is something, an innovation in religion that does not have any basis in Islam. We can take an example, a very clear example to understand the concept, and then we can elaborate a little if we have time, inshallah. The first one, imagine for example praying 2 rak'ah. Fajr is 2 rak'ah, right? The obligatory prayer. Someone comes and says, you know, we need to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more. So instead of 2 rak'ah, we'll make it 3 rak'ah. What is that? That is bid'ah. This will not be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Although he is praying more, he is doing more worship, more ibadah, more recitation of the Holy Quran, but will that be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? No. This is against what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala legalized, so it will not be accepted. That will be considered bid'ah. This is direct bid'ah. Clear? If he believes that this is part of the religion or something, this will be away from Islam altogether. That is the first part. Second part, believing in something as sunnah which is not authenticated sunnah, or stating that it is sunnah when it's not authenticated, not proved, that will be also a form of bid'ah. So there is a difference between doing a worship, an extra worship, whatever you like, and between stating that this is sunnah, which is different. Let us take an example very quickly. If someone perform wudu and pray 2 rak'ah after that, is this sunnah? Yes, this is sunnah, proved by the Messenger of Muhammad. No problem with that, right? But if, for example, let us say that every time he gets some good news, he will pray 2 rak'ah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now what is legalized in Islam is that you perform sujood shukr, right? Just sujood of shukr, thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm not aware of any proof that you pray 2 rak'ah or 4 rak'ah or more or less. But if someone would like to do that, just he feels like praying 2 rak'ah to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is that okay? If he does not believe that this is sunnah or there is a special merit to it, it's just an extra prayer, there's no harm. If he believes that this is sunnah or this is authenticated or proved, that will turn it into bid'ah. Get the difference? So there's a huge difference between both. Doing something extra without attributing something to the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam or to the religion, yes, not that. Some scholars actually take it even further. Some scholars are a little more rigid regarding the bid'ah, and they will consider bid'ah any form of worship that is not mentioned that the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did. So if you stick to it and repeat it, according to them, it will turn it into bid'ah. This is disputed among scholars. To be on the safe side, it's better not to do it all the time. An example that we can that comes to mind, if the imam would like to raise his hand and pray together in a group after the salah. Now prayer, dua after the salah is authenticated, that is mentioned in the hadith of the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's more likely to be answered. So if you finish the tasbih, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, if you finish the remembrance and dhikr after the salah and you'd like to make dua, this is a very good time for dua, no problem with that. Scholars agree on that. But if it is in a group, the imam would like to do it and the rest of people are doing it with that. So now is this bid'ah or not? So some scholars, those who are on the religious side, as we said, who are more strict, they say yes, if he is doing it and repeating it every day, that will turn it into bid'ah, according to them. The reason they state that because of doing so, it will be treated like a worship, an obligated worship. And many people will think that this is part of sunnah, for example, or part of the action of the Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Other scholars are not so religious. So say, no, everybody knows that this is not. We are just making dua because it's a good time, and we are teaching people that the dua at this time is good, and it is generally allowed in Islam to make dua at any time, in group or alone. So there is absolutely no harm with that. As you see, two slightly different understanding. Inshallah, there is no harm in praying after the salah, as you say, and it is better or liked that the imam does not do it all the time, so that people will not think that this is part of Islam. And we have seen many questions, people asking, even in our masjid sometimes, why you are not praying after the salah. And we have never seen any imam, for example, not praying after the salah, etc. Why? They thought that this is part of the religion. This is the danger of it, when repeating it all the time. So it's better to leave it on and off, so that people will understand that this is just an extra activity and this is not part of the religion. However, saying that this is bid'ah is a tough word in my opinion. Unless a person feels or believes that this is sunnah, or claims that this is sunnah, that is when it turns into bid'ah. But merely doing it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. I don't think that we can apply this rule. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best.
You have taken clear examples. But like, let's suppose telling Dawah, telling people to come to good deeds, or that is part of Islam, part of Sunnah. But if a person goes for 40 days and to a different country and do the same Dawah, tell them to come to prayer and all that, is that bid'ah?
No. You know, because people, when they go for 3 days or 7 days or 10 days or 40 days or more or less, they don't claim that this is part of Islam. You cannot do da'wah except in this number. That is more like managing things only. They want to make sure that people are serious about it. You are not going to just come for 5 minutes and leave. So most likely this is managerial. If they claim that you cannot do except in this way, that will turn it into a problematic point. But when it is just managerial, hopefully there is absolutely no problem in that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Ayat? No, this is not mentioned as per se in this sense in the Holy Quran. What is mentioned in the Holy Quran is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warned us from even saying anything in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without proof. Even saying, let alone doing. So this is under the same concept. And the Messenger of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam clarified it very clearly. The Messenger of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam clarified the concept of bid'ah very clearly in the hadith. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best now.